And I'm going to go ahead and assume this website's run by a woman because only women, only a girl creates a website where she spells word with 2 X's, unless it's pornography, of course. But Uprocks, you go girl, interviews this girl Cameron Brink on defying tired WNBA narratives and how she made some woman laugh. I think that's an NBA player. We'll blow it up for you. So this interview was all about how she's breaking the mold as the 2nd overall pick, and she is just talking about how she is shedding stereotype, and the only 2 interesting things she has to say in this interview come at the beginning and the end. And at the beginning, she says there's a tired narrative that's vets against rookies, and they're actually on the same side. Little did you know. I mean, that's obvious to anybody who watches sports that, yes, they make the rookies pay for things. They haze them. But, of course, they're on their team, and generally they're going to actually get along because they want to win. Now, if we scroll all the way down to the bottom, they have hid this question at the end, skipping past the Mattress Firm questions about her sponsorship. If in an interview anybody says, how is being on a Mattress Firm sponsored team going for you? How is it being the first person to be given a lifetime free supply of breakfast sausages from Johnsonville Sausages Go? How does it feel to have dude wipes, as many as you could possibly fit in your bathroom? That's the writer trying to kiss the person's ass, and everybody does it. But that's just so you know, if any writer or interviewer mentions a direct sponsor for the person, you know, that's what that is. What keeps you up at night, they ask. It's the last 2 parts here. Finish this sentence, the reporter asks. I will not rest until ... She responds, I will not rest until the W, which is now what we're calling the WNBA, I guess, is even more iconic than it is now. We can get into why it's iconic now. It's only because of one player, but tra-la-la. What part do you play in that? Listen carefully to what Cameron Brink, the 2nd overall draft pick in the WNBA's 2024 draft, has to say. I could go way deeper into this, but I would just say growing the fan base to support all types of players. I will acknowledge there's a privilege for the younger white players of the league. That's not always true, but there is a privilege that we have inherently, and the privilege of appearing feminine. Some of my teammates are more masculine. Some of my teammates go by they, them pronouns. I want to bring more acceptance to that and not just have people support us because of the way we look. I know I can feed into that because I like to dress femininely, but that's just me. I want everyone to be accepted, not just paid attention to because of how they look. Do you guys hear what she's saying? Do you hear what Cameron Brink is saying? Cameron's saying, you know, I'm a white girl, Caitlin Clark's a white girl, and we do have privilege, but not all the time. But I do want to put it out there that I've said that white girls have privilege. But the reason they have privilege is because we're pretty and the other lesbians are ugly. That's what she's saying. This girl is so desperate to say something woke, or maybe she's a master genius, I don't know. But it sounds to me she's so desperate to say something woke that she inherently called her teammates ugly, manly, and she was maybe a little racist about it too. I will acknowledge there's a privilege for younger white players of the league. That's not always true, but there is a privilege we have inherently. The privilege of appearing feminine. So what she's saying there is young white women appear feminine, and by that you can deduce that what she's saying is that women of other races are manly looking. And I don't think I'm getting that confused. Some of my teammates are, and then she goes further, some of my teammates are more masculine. So she's a young white woman, she looks feminine. Some of my teammates are manly looking, because that's what masculine means. Some of my teammates go by they, them pronouns. So they're androgynous looking as well. I want to bring more acceptance to that, and not just have people support us because of the way we look. That's another part. So she's saying everybody else manly, well, not everybody, but other players manly, can't tell if they're a boy or a girl, not white, masculine looking. She's young, white, and pretty, therefore she gets more attention. I want to bring more acceptance to that, not just have people support us because of the way we look. She's calling the other girls in the league ugly. So maybe this is just a based individual, an epic troll that we're witnessing here, but she's calling the other girls in the league ugly. And she says, I know I can feed into that because I like to dress femininely. It's not my fault, I just like to dress like a girl. That's not my fault. I feed into the fact that people don't like ugly girls by dressing like a girl. I feed into the fact that people don't like they, thems. But that's just me. I want everyone to be accepted, not just paid attention to because of how they look. So maybe she's trying to say that people should think that they, thems are pretty. Or that masculine looking women are pretty. But that's just not the case. And I think she knows that. I like to dress femininely, but that's just me. It's really weird. It's a really roundabout way to say that, the white girls in this league that are young are more popular because we're not butch. That's what she's saying. And she's also admitting to the idea that women in the WNBA or female basketball players are popular when they're not ugly. And it's not for basketball. So I'm sorry if that upsets you. These weren't my words. This is Cameron Brink. She's 6'4". Not the highest demographic for people anyways in terms of men that want really tall girls. Tall men probably want that. But what she's saying is that it's not my fault. I'm young and I'm white, and y'all be butch lesbians who are unwhite. That's what she's saying, and it's wild that she's saying that. I'm not saying that. I would never say that. But she's one step away from saying, hey, you know what? I wish fat girls and the chubbier girls in women's softball were more liked by fans. It's not my fault I'm not fat, but that's just how it goes. Basically what she's saying, right? You're going to be more popular if you're a young white girl, but if you're not white and you're masculine and you go by they, them pronouns, you're not popular because you're unattractive, and we need to change that. We need to make it so that people like ugly women and want to pay to see them perform poorly at a sport. That's what we're all striving for. If we could eliminate the NFL and just put a bunch of unattractive women in football pads and watch them, throw the ball much shorter, run less fast, and overall just give us a worse product. That's where Cameron Brink wants us to be. She wants a league full of ugly, masculine women who are probably lesbians and go by, G's and Jers and Zays and Zems. And if we can do that, then we should all pay for that, and everybody who's pretending to like the WNBA because they like the way 4 girls look should then pay for that. That's the league we're going for. That's what Cameron Brink wants. Why should we deny her of that?
Turn it up, Jordan.